Hello everyone and welcome back to Bandai Project and Figure Review, your one stop for everything model and anime related. And this is going to be the last themed anniversary episode for Gundam Wing. This is going to be one of the last of the Gundam Universe action figures that I actually have from Gundam Wing, I should say. So the ones that we are going to be looking at are none other than number 10 Zone 00 MS tallgeese, as well as number 20 XXG01 Shenlong Gundam, and these are both from the Gundam Wing series. And yeah, these are going to be really cool because I already had done the review on tallgeese 2, so we'll do a little side-by-side comparison with that in this video, but mostly focusing on the Shenlong Gundam. And this actually has a lot of really cool add-on weapons when I was reading the description on here. This is, again, one of the series that I actually haven't got a chance of watching, so since it's the 30th anniversary, I'm probably going to pick up the series and work on a few of the models that I actually have. So let's actually take a look at these wonderful models and roll opening and take a look on how well these figurines stack up. Alright, now we have these on our work table, we can actually start and take a look at each one of these. Let's go in number order and take a look at number 10, the Zone 00 SM tallgeese. And like I said, this is a really cool one. It does give us a brief history for that. You can pause the video and actually read that. So that gives us a bit of a background on the importance of this mech. And this is basically a heavily modified Leo, if I remember right from the series. So do forgive me if I got any information wrong. Please definitely leave comments if I got any information wrong, for I can correct myself for future videos. So definitely want to make sure all facts are correct. And apparently this is a very popular series, especially among girls. I had a lot of girls actually ask me about where I could find some of the other mech series and all that, and I'm like, oh, I have no problem with that. And definitely had quite a few areas like Hobbytown USA and a bunch of other stores that I can recommend, but I digress, and we're going to be getting into this. And like I said, I already have done the tallgeese 2, so we'll actually be doing a comparison video with this particular one, since I do actually have that one unboxed over there. So let's actually take a look and see what all comes with the original tallgeese. And I'd like to start over here because, again, it does kind of come over here with some of the art. So I just love looking at the full body art. And it looks like there's actually some more on here. So we'll just take a look real quick and just take a look at that full body art. And that is just gorgeous. I just love how it does, how they do the lovely designs on here. But let's pop this bad boy out and kind of take an overview of what all comes in the box. So let's get this plastic cover for the reflection. So quick look, we have our blaster right up here. We have 2 jet nozzles, a couple of hands, and the shield in the back. So this is already looking like it's well packaged. So the front and back, so the boosters, which are these, will just go there. And we also have a nice lovely shield with a beautiful amount of detail on that. And we do have a couple of beam sabers right here. That is actually kind of cool. But the problem is, it looks like it doesn't come with any actual beam weapons. So, oh, that is a pain to put back in. There we go. And that just clips right in there. But overall, the detail is really nice, especially with how they, the detail on that is for like the beam sabers. So you could easily go and do some really nice panel lining with this. Now moving on to the blaster, it is really nice. It does have a pivoting fore handle, which is really nice. Wish the clip could come out, but overall the design is really nice, and it looks like it does have a peg hole to put on the side for the arm to, you know, do a side blaster for that. So that's actually looking really nice. Next, we have some of the Next, we have parts of the thrusters for the back. These are really nice, and I believe these actually do fold out, giving us nice little wings. So it does look like this one has still some flush marks, but you could easily take a scalpel like this and easily just kind of clean those up a bit, just to make it a little bit more smoother. So it doesn't look like this one had too much of an issue. And yeah, these look really nice, well done for its back thrusters. And then we do have one hand, I believe. So they're all about roughly the same. They just have this little peg and you just pop it in. And then we do have a piece for its stand right here. So let's actually put all this together and do a comparison to the tallgeese 2. And there we have the tallgeese fully completed, and as we can see, everything went on fairly easy. And again, the weapons have really nice posability as well. And like I said, some pieces do tend to pop off. Again, they're not fully solid, so just do be careful. They will pop off, so do not have any worries. We can actually bend the hand a little bit here, and we can actually pop the blaster right into his hand, and now he is actually holding the weapon. And so it gives us a really cool play with that, where he can actually hold the weapon and, you know, aim better. So yeah, overall this is looking really nice. So let's actually take a look at the tallgeese 2 and do a kind of a comparison with the 2. And now we have the two tallgeese 1 and tallgeese 2. And as you can see, there isn't much of a difference other than paint scheme and the crest on the head. So this is going to be a really easy comparison video, because again, it's more just minor aesthetics and different paint schemes. As we can see, this is just an all white and a little bit of black. Well, this one does have more of a white and blue paint scheme on it, but it does have all the same features with the backpack, the arms, articulation's all the same. So these are practically almost the same units. So there's really not much other than just some minor cosmetic changes to the mech. Mainly probably is another, maybe the rifle is a little bit different, but they look pretty similar. Other than just how the head looks, as we can do a quick kind of side by side, we can see that there's a little bit more detail with the head. The crest is a lot different. So other than that, that is basically what these two are what really makes this a tallgeese 1 and a tallgeese 2. What I'm really interested in is hopefully they can come out with the ones that have the angel wings for the tallgeese. Now that one will be actually a really cool one, unless that was just more of a fun little kick bash, but I think there is a version of this with wings, so please leave those down in the comment section down below if this does actually have a winged version, because I thought I saw a model kit with one. So yeah, now let's move on to the Shenlong Gundam. Starting off, I do love admiring the artwork again with these particular figures. So it actually does come on over on this side. And again, this does give us a brief history, so you can pause the video and just kind of read on the stats of this particular mech and where it is actually featured. So this is actually a really interesting one, because from what I was understanding, this is either in both the anime and in the manga too. So this is going to be interesting, and it does actually have some really cool weapons when I was reading about this particular one, especially this thing right here. You'll understand what that is when I do the full unboxing and explain some of the weapons. So let's actually break this open and take a look at the inside of the Shenlong Gundam. Again, I just love the full art picture here. And there. Alrighty, so this is already looking really nice. Let's do a quick overview, and then again, this is having some really nice, cool little features, and it does feel fairly loose, but this is going to be a very interesting one because there's a lot of unique play tropes in here, or articulation, as we can kind of see it like right here. So starting off with the arms, it does move fairly well. It does have very good articulation. The shoulders move fairly well, and the design for the shoulder armor is really nice. We can actually take a look at the head. The head is really well sculpted. You can see the eyes, and it does have very good detail for the head, especially in the back. It's very, very pointy. Articulation wise, you actually have fairly good for up and down a little bit. Side to side, you do have a little bit of play with side to side. And again, we have the arm here, and overall, this is actually the part that's going to be kind of cool, is this particular arm, because it looks like this actually has a really cool gimmick here, and that's actually to expand its arm. So we can actually see it can expand out just like that. And yeah, that is already looking really, really cool with how that looks right there. And we can actually, what we're probably supposed to do is actually take off one of the hands here. Because this is actually what it's supposed to kind of look like, because this is actually a flamethrower. So this is actually supposed to be a flamethrower, and that's actually pretty dang cool. And it does have a lot of articulation play with this, so this is actually really interesting. So it's kind of giving me Gurren vibes from Code Geass with this particular arm. But moving on to some of the other articulations, the waist does move back to back a little bit. The side armors do move, just like how some of the other ones are. The front ones, they feel a little stiff, but they do move forward and back. For the back part, it does actually have a solid plate, and this is where we are going to be putting our backpack for our boosters. Articulation for the legs, they actually do have a really nice articulation. I do actually like how it gives me a nice bend in the knees. Again, this is one of the newer in the sets, since this is number 20, so they had quite a few times to kind of figure out how to get these to pose maybe a little better. But overall, it's feeling still really nice and solid. The legs, or in this case ankles, move back to back. It has a nice ankle guard right here. And again, they do move really nicely. So that is this. And let's keep moving on and take a look at some of the other weapons and parts that it comes with. So it does come with a backpack right here and 2 little nozzles, as well as 2 different hands, a peg for a display stand, and its energy blade that goes on a spear, which we actually have right here. And they actually do just connect just like so, and there you have the actual blade attached to this. So this is already looking really nice, especially with, I love the energy weapons that a lot of these series have. And last but not least, we have the shield, which just connects onto the arm and one of these slots here. So let's actually put everything together and take a look to see how it all looks. And there we have it. We have this fully connected, and yeah, because again, if we look at the box cover, it basically has it where it's connected a little bit, where it just comes in like that, and this is actually where the cool little flamethrower is actually. So you actually need to take the hand off to make it that really cool flamethrower vibe. And yeah, there's a lot of things that you could actually do to, you know, add more colors, especially as you can see here. It's supposed to be kind of a green thing right here, and it should look like a falcon. So again, this is sometimes where the art depiction doesn't necessarily match what you actually get. So again, always play the ear, but when you have anime like drawings, they're not gonna look exactly like what you're going to get, but it does open a lot of possibilities for play and modification. So again, this already looks really nice, and it does rotate really nicely, and you can do some nice little folds. It folds really nicely, comes down, yeah, and it's just a nice little claw thing there. So overall, this is looking really nice. It holds the weapon fairly well. It's still fairly loose, so it's going to be kind of more maybe in a downward position, kind of like how you see it in here. So I wish there was a little bit more oomph, or a place where it can hold, kind of like it's a little bit thicker here. Wish it was a little bit thicker at the bottom, for it can actually hold it a little bit differently instead of a little more up close. I would have preferred to be able to have it like this, but it will hold it like that, so it's not too bad. So I really do like how this has a lot of really fun play. Okay, everyone, that's going to wrap up this special for the 30th anniversary of Gundam Wing, and I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. These were really fun action figures, and this was a fun line to do, since I actually had practically all of the Gundam Wing action figures from the Gundam universe that have been released as of right now. And so these were really cool, and I love doing some of the side-by-side comparisons for some of these. So I do really hope, like I said, that there's a couple other ones that, like especially Heavy Arms Gundam, that gets an Endless Waltz release version. So again, these are really nice, really solid. So if you're a Gundam Wing fan, I definitely highly recommend getting these. And they do have a lot of really nice gimmicks and tropes to make these very, very unique in play and for display purposes. Especially if you want to do stop motion, these are perfect. They give you a nice fluent kind of way of manipulating without it completely just falling apart like how a normal model would be. But I digress on those future maybe projects that I might want to try to do as a little fun little film. But I digress. But these are phenomenal action figures. I can't wait to start doing more since I still have a Tupperware box full of these suckers because I had to make room because I just couldn't keep all the boxes on there, and I started running out of room to display these little bad boys. So I got a whole shelf like right there just dedicated to the Gundam Universe action figure line. So definitely stay tuned for more of those unboxings for those. I still have plenty more, and there are still more coming out later in the year. So definitely look forward to those. And if you like this type of content, please like and subscribe. You guys are what's making this channel grow, and we're already at 365. So basically I have 1 subscriber per day. So let's keep that up and see if we can get to 400 subscribers. So share these videos to your friends, and if you do like this type of content, leave comments down below on what you want to see next. I got plenty of these action figures, and if there's any particular model kits you want to be seen or tutorials, please definitely leave those down in the comments since I got a whole bunch of projects lined up for us. So until then, I will see you guys in the next episode.